as universities and government research sponsorship and journals and all those things, then I would think that the country with the institutions will be more successful in both in terms of total ideas and also putting ideas into effect. The other society will be at a disadvantage in both the production of ideas and also in putting into effect those ideas, I would think.
I think I agree with, because of, we can often see that brain drain from the less developed country to the advanced country, because the very smart people would like to move to the advanced country because the country has providing institutionalized
support.
Especially
for young people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is one of the strengths of the American system, because if you look at American education system at the lower level, it is not very good, to be quite frank. With some exceptional school systems, well, the average is pretty low. It's much worse than the Japanese average. On the other hand, by the time you get to the graduate school level in the US, the world's best students probably are there. Many of them, although some do stay and do work. I know very good PhDs who have done their work at ISI or University of Tokyo and such places. But generally, many of the better students would end up in the better universities in the US. So this is one of the gains of the US system. And this, I think, is a US institution that other countries really should copy. This is where imitation actually is likely to be very beneficial for the world as a whole.
But personally speaking, I'm not so find fun in such institutionalization of innovation.
I know. Because also, I ask my American friends too about the same question, because America is supposed to be the land of individuals, and the basement people who tinker in the basements like Edison and come up with great products. But today, maybe in a basement, but it would be the research lab of a corporation or research lab run by the government, and you have to come in at a certain time, and you have to put up with many restrictions.
Final point I want to do is that what is essential aspect of information technology technique? Is it agreeable to me that the essential of the current information technology period is based on the digitalization of the information?
Exactly. It is basically binary arithmetic, right? And algebra that is based on that. So I think that's precisely it. And the hardware of information technology is the silicon chip. It's the microprocessor revolution. That is the hardware. The software revolution, has been going on for a long time, because writing of the program and those things. But it's all based on this binary arithmetic, which most of the object programming languages, I studied some computer science when I was studying mathematics, is in the hexadecimal arithmetic, 64. But those 64 actually come from 0-1 sequences. So it is that binary arithmetic, and that revolution actually was in the 1850s, right? When people came up with the Boolean algebra. 0-1 algebra was invented in the 19th century.
When we talk about innovation, the role of entrepreneur becomes very important.
Yes.
Especially in this information technology age. What do you think of
Once again,
So, what do you think about Japanese entrepreneurs, the spirit of Japanese entrepreneurs?
That is an area where I don't know that much, But when I read about how some of the Japanese firms grew big, people have written in English about Nomura and Toyota, and these are all quite entrepreneurial people. Honda, right? So Japan really historically has had entrepreneurs. The question is, in this historical period, after the Keiretsu, after the stable, very stable economy, and then bubble economy and bubble bursting in the 90s, would you have such entrepreneurs? I would think that there are, from what I have read. It seems that some people are trying to start firms. But perhaps for economies like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, you need both individual entrepreneurs, but also companies themselves perhaps need to create more independent companies, that will have more entrepreneurial characteristics. Because you already have an infrastructure, so to speak, of a firm, and it has certain facilities, including information facilities. So it actually would be economically sensible to have smaller groups or smaller firms without the kind of rules and regulations that normal employees have to abide by, and also encouraging more risk-taking by them, so that they actually will fail if they are like private entrepreneurs. And that will attract also more enterprising individuals. So that's one idea I have, which I don't know if anybody is acting upon.
Can I make one comment about that? Systematically, I think that because of the very quick response through the recent IT technology network, as a system, globalization would make a total system is very sensitive to other countries and events,
Right.
like terror attacks, and if some system players in the system become so sensitive to some events and so interactive to other events, as a system would be more unstabilized.
The global system, you mean? Yes. My intuition says that yes, it will become, or it may have a kind of razor's edge kind of equilibrium, right?
Yeah.
So that's anything, any perturbation will throw it off. Yeah, that's a real danger.
Yeah.
That is a real danger. Yeah.
So that I think that even though that among the advanced countries, they would enjoy the internet work benefit, the benefit like very quick response
Right.
each other.
That's right.
But on the other hand, among the underdeveloped country, they still have very old type network. There is a very big gap of the sensitivity among the LDCs and the ADCs.
Right.
So there might be unstabilizing factors between two areas.
Even that. Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. If you think of, even in economic terms,
Yeah.
one can see how that would happen. Or you have a kind of ultra-modern enclave in the capital cities, but everything else would be pretty much underdeveloped. So the unevenness would increase even more.
Yeah.
And to the extent such unevenness gives rise to internal instabilities, and that may then spill over outside. Even the economic system would be less stable, and political and social systems may be even more unstable. Yeah.
Is your model including such factors?
Not so far, no. But if you did it, I guess, for a region, and looked at the states within the region as subcomponents or sub-economies within the region, then such an application may be possible. But one needs to really take a few steps beyond what I have done in order to do that. But I think it would be a very good idea to do so.
Okay, thanks. So thank you very much and for your question. Thank you.